In recent years, there has been a lot of controversy in Taiwan surrounding one particular group of people, Chinese citizens who are married to Taiwanese citizens and living in Taiwan, commonly known here as Chinese spouses. Currently, there are over 360,000 of them, one of the largest groups of Chinese people living in Taiwan. Amid tense and often complicated relations between Taiwan and China, with government-to-government communication completely shut off, tourism restricted, and China threatening to take Taiwan by force if it considers necessary, Chinese spouses have often found themselves at the center of debate within Taiwan. In March, 3 Chinese spouses were deported from the country after posting videos on social media that authorities said advocated the unification of China and Taiwan by force. They deemed the videos a threat to national security and social stability amid anger and controversy that spilled over onto the streets.
Go back to China! Go back to China!
This controversy reignited debates that have been going on for years in Taiwan over immigration policies for Chinese spouses. Some want stricter policies, while others support easing them. One major question that's arisen is why Chinese spouses are treated differently than immigrants from other countries. While most foreigners have to give up their original citizenship to become citizens of Taiwan, Chinese spouses only need to give up their household registration in China. The core of this issue is how Taiwan's law defines this group of people, something rooted in history. Decades ago, the government of the Republic of China, which is Taiwan's official name, retreated to Taiwan from mainland China as they were losing the Chinese Civil War to Mao Zedong's communists. The ROC established a government in exile in Taiwan that still claimed sovereignty over both sides of the strait, hoping one day to take back the mainland. But that never materialized. Today, the ROC only governs Taiwan and its outlying islands, while mainland China is ruled by the Chinese Communist Party. But Taiwan's laws still describe China and Taiwan not as separate states, but as 2 different areas within the same country, the ROC, called the mainland area and the Taiwan area. Under this legal framework, experts say Chinese citizens are not considered foreigners, so they can't naturalize in the traditional sense of the word. But they also aren't seen as ROC citizens either. Instead, they're treated as a special group, governed by special legislation which differentiates them from Taiwanese people not by citizenship, but by household registration, which confirms the physical address of where you actually live. So Chinese spouses who want to obtain Taiwanese national ID cards and all the rights awarded to Taiwanese citizens, like the right to vote, can do so by switching their household registration from China to Taiwan. This is a process that generally takes 6 years, starting with getting marriage-based residency, then after living in Taiwan for at least 4 years, long-term residency, and then after 2 more years, something called registered permanent residency, a status that allows them to apply for household registration in Taiwan, a national ID card, and a passport. In April, these immigration processes were thrown into the spotlight when Taiwan's government asked over 12,000 Chinese spouses who had obtained registered permanent residency status in Taiwan and their children to provide proof that they had given up their household registration in China within 3 months, by June 30th, or risk losing their legal status in Taiwan. The announcement sent many scrambling, causing confusion and panic, especially among those who have reportedly lived in Taiwan for decades without a problem.
目前设定的3个月对这些当事人来讲，其实感到十分不合理，因为这个时间忽略了两岸的行政差异，还有两岸的制度所带来的落差。
This isn't a new requirement. It had been in place since 2004, but officials said some cases had fallen through the cracks.
那已明确规定，台湾人民不论先来后到，取得台湾身份多久都不能同时拥有对岸的身份。如果有，就必须择一。
In response to the pushback, the government set up support mechanisms, like hotlines and in-person briefings, and offered exemptions or extensions to Chinese spouses who had legitimate difficulties getting the required documents. After the deadline passed, officials said the large majority of Chinese spouses had complied with the rule, with fewer than 1,700 who haven't. Legal complications have also created controversy surrounding Chinese spouses seeking to enter politics in Taiwan. Last December, Shi Xueyan, a Chinese spouse who had previously served as a county councilor in central Taiwan, had her status as a public official revoked by the government because she had not given up her Chinese citizenship before being sworn in. Taiwan's Cross-Strait Act says Chinese spouses can run for public office after having household registration in Taiwan for 10 years. But Taiwan's Nationality Act requires all public officials to renounce any other citizenship before taking office. Shi has appealed the decision in court, arguing that Chinese spouses are not considered foreign nationals, so the requirement of giving up foreign nationality is not applicable to them.
我想只有进入正式的司法程序，我也希望司法可以秉持着一个法理跟一个程序的正义，来还给我们陆配一个参与公职选举的一个合法性、正当性。
Some have spoken out in support of Shi, saying she wouldn't be able to give up her Chinese citizenship even if she wanted to. They argue that under Chinese law, to give up Chinese citizenship, Chinese people have to become a citizen of a different country. But China doesn't recognize Taiwan as a country, so it might not be possible for Chinese spouses to satisfy that requirement. But others have cited national security concerns as a reason why Taiwan should not allow people with dual citizenship to hold public office, especially those from a country that has intensified efforts to infiltrate Taiwan. One expert says the fundamental reason why this requirement exists is because people with more than one nationality also have obligations to more than one country.
所以他其实他关心的是说，一个具有不同很多国籍的人，他同时要遵守很多国家的法律。那当他同时要遵守很多国家的法律的时候，我们也许没办法期待你拥有台湾的公权力，那你行使职务的时候，你会以中华民国的法律作为优先。所以他基本上的考量是这样子。
All this shows how the complexities of cross-strait relations and history play out daily in Taiwan, in big and small ways, entrenched in its legal framework, its immigration processes, and likely the subject of continued debates.